Hey guys, it's John with CheatSheetPros.com. Today we're going to take a look at the prize pick and player prop cheat sheet for MLB pitchers. I released this to the premium group about three-ish days ago. I can't remember exactly when, and I didn't get a chance to make the video at that time. So I'm going to go ahead and do the tutorial today for you. So I worked on this sheet for a while. Not every pitcher's in there. I think I have between 100 and 125 pitchers right now. So each day I make a list. If there's a starter that pops up that's not in there, then we're going to go ahead and put him in. So to take a look at the sheet, kind of get your bearings around here. So it's just like our other sheets. You click here in this green box and it gives you a drop down of all the last names of the pitchers. Or you could type in this box. So we've got Savali, or however you say his name, in here right now. And I went ahead and for this sheet, as opposed to NBA, I put his full name up here to drag it up top. So you make sure you got the right guy, because you'll see Anderson and Lopez, and there's multiple ones, and sometimes it gets confusing. And then we got the team they play for, and then we got the opponent, and then these are the opponent's stats over the last 14 days. So you can see what the strikeout rate is, the team batting average, the team WRC plus, and their ISO over the last 14 days. And then I also have the ranking down here. So real quick, I look at the K rate. I don't really care about the rank. I look at the K rate, and then I look at these ranks to get an idea if it's something I should be worried about, or if it's a low production team the last couple of weeks. These over here, these are your pitcher stats for the current season. You can take a look and see how this pitcher's doing versus lefties versus righties. Overall, this is a good one to focus on. This is their season totals. So as they get more starts, they get more stats under their belt. These will be more accurate. And then also we've got the home stats and road stats. So there are a few pitchers that you can see significant splits between home and road. And again, these are innings pitched, ERA, xFIP, WOBA, K9, WHIP, and batting average allowed. So real quick, if you're doing K props, look at the K rate, and then you can look at their K9 rate. The lefty righty, I put that in there just if you look at a lot of starting lineups, you can get an idea if they're loading lefties, righties, or if they're not making any changes at all. But I use that more for the DFS side. For the prop side, I'm going to look here, and then I might glance here at the home road once we get some more data and see what it looks like. And I went ahead and pulled this in. This was new on our MLB cheat sheet. And so this is your pitch type for the pitcher. So I update this once a week for the current season. So you can see this current pitcher. And this is a good thing to glance at down here. So you can see this is his main pitch he throws the most, his second most, and his third most. And then this is how the opponent ranks against that pitch on the season. So most pitchers, not all, are going to have fastball for their main pitch. So how you would read this is he throws a fastball 35% of the time. His average velocity is 91.3 miles per hour. His slider, he throws 12% of the time. Cutter, 20%. Curve, 16%. He does not throw a changeup, and he throws a splitter. So his main pitch here is the fastball, which Minnesota ranks 29th against it. The cutter is his second most thrown pitch, and they rank fourth best against it. And then his splitter is the third, and they rank 10th against that. So I usually look at the main two pitches, so 35 and 20, that's 55%. But he throws a lot of pitches here, so these other ranks, kind of look at them with a grain of salt. I don't put a ton of weight in this, but if I'm between two pitchers that are identical, I will look at this and say, okay, well, his main pitch is a fastball, they're 29th against it. If the other pitcher I'm looking at is, say, they're top 5 against his main pitch, then I'm probably going to lean over here to the one that's got the better matchup. And then down here, this is our game log grabber. Real quick across the top here, we've got the last 3 game average. So these are the average prize points, innings pitched, earned runs allowed per game, strikeouts per game, ERA, WHIP, pitch count, swinging strikes, and swinging strike percentage. So what we're looking at here now, 99% of these dates are going to be in order from the newest game from top on the way down. When you see this 10-1900, it just means it's blank. That's like a default date. So I've got most of this stuff grayed out so you can tell that there weren't any. We're just waiting for this to basically fill with data. So we can see the last time he threw, we've got the date, if it was home or road. I put his team in here just so you can verify you do have the right pitcher. The opponent, this is the result in the game. This is how many prize pick points they scored in that game. Now, I don't have a way to track a quality start, so it could be off by plus or minus 3. So just use it with a grain of salt. And then innings pitched is really good if you're looking to get that quality start. I believe it's 4 points on prizepicks.com. I'm not sure. Earned runs allowed in each game, strikeouts in each game. This is really good when you're doing K-props. You can look and kind of see what they've been doing. And then I also look at pitch count because I want to see if they're throwing the same amount of pitches, if they're increasing, decreasing, if they're getting pulled when they're in the 80s. So for this guy, 91, 90, 99, we could safely say he's going to throw between 90 and 100 pitches. So that's good. And then the swinging strikes was a neat stat they had in there, and so I went ahead and just made it a percentage for each game so you can see the swinging strike rate. And then I didn't label it, but over here in this light gray, these boxes, this is the opponent strikeout rate over the last 14 days for the team. So most of these are going to be within the last 14 days, these top matchups. So you can see Detroit, they were massive, 30.3%, and he had 6 Ks and 6 Ks. And then down here, a team that was 21.5%, he had 4 Ks. So now we're back here at 22.5. So we could probably guess him for about 5 strikeouts. So not a big K strikeout prop that I would want to hit, but this is just something I pulled in here so I can kind of look and see how they did versus the teams that are striking out a lot or not striking out a lot. And this is something Kyle and I was playing with over here. This is, so the BB, this is your batted balls. So we're calculating the batted balls. It's your ground balls plus fly balls. Now your fly balls also include line drives, pop-ups, and then it's got some other ones in there. So ground balls and fly balls equal your batted balls. And then we split up ground ball, fly ball to see, if this is a ground ball pitcher. We like to see ground balls for the pitching side because those are easy fielded outs. The fly balls are a little bit scarier because those are line drives, deep shots in the outfield, but they also do include some pop-ups. So here you can see in his 2 most recent start, he has greater than 55% ground ball rate, so that's good if you're looking for a pitcher. Now this one, he did give up 5 line drives, so that's a little bit on the scarier side, but just something we decided to put in here to kind of track and keep an eye on. So when I'm going through this, over here we've got our prize picks, and I'm going to look at, so you can do your fantasy score or you can do your, K-props. The K-props I really like. The fantasy score, a little bit not as much. So let's go ahead and just take a look at a couple of these so I can show you how I look at it. So first one I'm going to look at up here is Jacob Junis, just because I live in Kansas City, so I follow them quite a bit. So over here we got Junis. I see his name up here, so I know I got the right pitcher. And he's facing Pittsburgh, who shockingly has the 6th lowest K rate over the last 14 days. But WRC plus and ISO wise, they rank in the bottom 7, so nothing good. Team batting average of 230, not great. Now over here, he throws a fastball 58% of the time, and it's only 90.8. Well, Pittsburgh is number 4, the 4th best against the fastball. So that does worry me a little bit, but again, take it with a grain of salt because you can flip over here and say, okay, well, his slider, he throws 35% of the time, and they're bottom 5 against the slider. So a little bit of just, take note of it. I'm tracking it to kind of see, what happens with it. But his K-prop is 4 strikeouts. Typically, 4 is a really good number just because 3 is a loss. And it's hard for a starting pitcher to only have 3 strikeouts and then go 4 is a push, 5 we get a win, so that's good. So I like 4s. And you can see over here he went 3, 6, 6, 1, and 2. The 1 and 2 I'm not worried about. I think he threw out of the bullpen here. I'm not sure. But he only threw 14 and 16 pitches. So these are pretty much just kind of getting him warmed up for the season. So his first main game was 58 pitches here against Cleveland, who had a 26% strikeout rate, and he had 6 Ks on 58 pitches. That's really good. That put him about 12% for swinging strikes. And then his next start up here, he threw 81 pitches, so he jumped from 58 to 81. That's good. I also keep track of the whip to make sure it's, you know, like 125 and lower. And he had 6 Ks on 81 pitches with a 12% swinging strike rate. So I saw these two numbers, and this last start, I hit him at 4, and he ended up with only 3. Now, he got in a little bit of trouble here. You can see his whip went up to 1.8. He did throw 83 pitches. His strikeout rate fell down to 8%. And he had 3 Ks, so he missed it. So this isn't a bad one to look at. I don't know if I'm going to take it or not, but I mean, on the year through 17 innings, he's got a K9 rate of 9.5, which is really good. So if he throws 85 to 90 pitches, you know, and he's hit 6 and 6, you know, 4 is an easy number to hit. So that's one I do like without looking at anything else. Just flipping down here, let's look at Scherzer. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to pop in and look at a couple of these to kind of show you what I'm looking at. So his number is 9, and we can see here he's got 9, 10, 5, and 9. So 9, I think, is a very fair number. Toronto has a low strikeout rate, but they're not very good against the fastball. They are good against the slider, and they are not good against the changeup. So 9's a fair number. I don't love it because you need 10 to win. And let's see, he played Arizona. He got 10, and he's throwing, you know, 100 pitches. He threw 91, 90, 106, 109. His swinging strike rate runs usually 12 to 17 here. He did have 23 in his first game, which is wild. But anyways, 9's kind of a tough number to hit here. You can see he got it once. He pushed it twice. I like a push for a floor, not a push for a top end, so that's not one that I do like there. And so basically what I'll do is when I get time throughout the day, usually around lunch, I'll sit down and I'll kind of go through these and type them all in, look at them, kind of see who I like. So this one jumps out at me. So Giolito, and then Detroit. I know Detroit has been awful. They've got a high strikeout rate, and I don't know if Gio is in the sheet or not. If not, I need to put him on the list to add him, because he is someone that we definitely want to. Now, I can't tell if he's in here, so I'm going to go down here to the G's and just check. And I am shocked I did not get him in here. Okay, so that's someone that I got to add. 8.5, I'd want to see how he's doing. So let's go ahead and jump over here and look at Urena real quick on the other side. So low K rate, his number again is 4. He's got 8, 4, and 5 in the last 3. Not a very high swinging strike rate the last 3. So if you're doing K props, check out their pitch types. Use that as kind of a grain of salt, and then look at the team's K rate over the last 14 days. Look at the pitcher's K9 rate, and then also just look at how many Ks they've had in each start. Now, once we get 7, 8 starts under here, we'll get a lot of data and a lot of different teams to look at. So the intent of this wasn't to give you a bunch of plays for today, because I haven't started looking yet, but it was to show you the prize picks and player props cheat sheet that you can use with your MLB pitching data. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video. It's already been 13.5 minutes. So this is how you use it. It's posted. I update it and list it every day. So check it out. Hope you guys like it, and we'll go from there.